Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Escalante, and I want to thank you for joining me on my journey into becoming a cybersecurity professional. And I'm starting my first video for the Cybersecurity Mindset series. And in this part, we're going to talk about exploring the field. If you can see on my screen, I have my blog, which I will post the link in the description below, and it's basically talking about exploring the field. This is my experience of exploring the field. So I'm not gonna read every word as if I'm reading a story to you, but I'm just gonna capture some key points here and then move right along to the links. And this is what I really want to show everyone, and to show everyone what I went through to get to where I am right now with this mindset. So exploring this field was pretty insane experience for me, just because of the information that was available. So I'm the type of person that's usually focused, zeroed in, um, and I don't like to do too many things at the same time. But with this field, I realized I was exposed to so many things where if I learned one topic, whether if it was policy, it moved into the actual person, like who's responsible for the policy, and then it moved into who is the team that's responsible for some type of security control. It just kept moving on and on and on, and I felt like I was out of place, or like just all over the place. But for some reason, it felt great because I realized that this is a huge field, and at one point I wanted to be a cybersecurity professional, but that wasn't enough. I needed to pinpoint exactly where in cybersecurity I needed to go into. So going through that maze that I like to perceive it as, I found where I wanted to go. So ever since that, I've been zoned in on that, and even with that particular area in cybersecurity, it's still broad. But what I do know is that I can literally understand where I want to go in this field. So down the list here of in the blog, I have a bunch of links, and they're all broken down into sections, or they're grouped up in sections. So I want to go one by one and show them to you. So this one here, and also these links will be posted in the description as well, of the YouTube channel of this video. So right here, we're looking at the YouTube channel of SANS Institute. Now, this organization is famous for cybersecurity training, and they do an amazing job with teaching people like me. And when I say people like me, I'm talking about people that are starting out, wanting to learn, trying to figure this out. Where exactly do I fit in? Because I've done certain things in my life, and I want to know where I fit in. I can always learn and start all over, but it's almost better to build up on what you know already. And cybersecurity really does an amazing job, and SANS Institute does an amazing job as well. SANS Institute has broken everything down. They have um, different training sections, I want to call it. Like you have SANS pen test training, SANS digital forensics, you have ICS, you have security awareness, you have cloud security. You go in each one of these channels and you will find a load of videos. And then also here as well, they break down. Also, we have summit talks, and these are I want to say conferences within SANS that they hold for people that want to learn. There's for updated technologies, updates in the threat actors, and whatever tactics and techniques they're using. So this does an amazing job with presenting all this. There are so many right now. Like we can go into Pentest Hackfest Summit. It says view full playlist. If you're interested in a pen test area of cybersecurity, you have one, two, three, four, five. You have 5 videos to watch, and these are all educational. You have the clouds are out to get me, so you're gonna learn something of the cloud environment. It says this one says the top 10 reasons it's great to be a pen tester. So you're gonna learn why it's so great to be a pen tester. The changing landscape of offense. So now you're talking about how the offensive side of security is literally transforming. There's a year of gaining superpowers. I'm pretty sure there's some, I don't know exactly what that is. I'm pretty sure it's informational. At the same time, there's this one called Hatfields and McCoy's, the development security relationship. So I know for a fact this has to do with software development and the security that's involved, that's required now more than ever. So this is just one YouTube channel with through SANS Institute. Let me go over to BrightTalk. So BrightTalk is a organization that hosts webinars. So I have a login, and you can log in as well. You can it's a free registration. You just log in, and you have access to numerous videos as well. So here I could just type in hacking. So if you look down the list of this, you have hacking the election, the human side. This is part 2. I didn't see the part 1. But if there's something that interests you, the elections are coming up. And if there's a hacking event, that's going to break everything. You know, it's going to be so much news coming up and about constantly, whole bunch of criticisms if this election is hacked. And we have 2 videos just about this topic. You can learn so much from these professionals that are literally giving their expertise, their guidance to us. This one video is called Hacking Identity, the Good, the Bad, and Ugly of Identity-Centric Security Controls. One thing about cybersecurity is that user access is very important. The fact that there's a system of having people that are allowed on your network is a big deal. The problem is that these hackers continue to get in without permission. They don't have the access and they're coming in. So that's a problem. So there's a video just in this part. There's also, here's the hacking the election, the first part. There's also, says 10 recession beating digital marketing tactics for business growth. That's a business. Okay. So this one says hacking the brain. The ability to implant thoughts and manipulate a person's behavior may be closer than we believe. Okay, so here's an interesting lesson, hacking the brain. So this one says battling disinformation, voter suppression, and cyber attacks. So just through the search of hacking, we were able to find numerous videos, and they're all learning lessons, and they all play a critical part, because even though cybersecurity is very technical, you need very specific skills. You need strong foundation. It's also people oriented, because you're dealing with people. The hackers are people. Yes, they set up the automated services to conduct the attacks, but it begins with a person, and a person had to create that function for it to happen. So the people part is very important in cybersecurity as well. Also want to look into this link, which is Infosec. Infosec is another organization that trains. That's another training organization similar to SANS Institute. I don't want to say one is better than the other. I just know that they're both great. The one thing that I know about Infosec is that they're very, very knowledgeable in the job aspect. They will talk to hiring managers, they will talk to analysts, and they will ask them how did they get in the field. They will ask them for advice for people watching if we want to get into this field, and they just share that information. Nothing's held secret here. Everything is in the open. There's a video that says here, getting into security architecture careers. If you want to be a security architect, then you will listen to this for 41 minutes. If you want to get into the data privacy, there's GDPR, CCPA. You can listen to this. There's the this one is an update on the ethical hacking priority course. Would include as well as the career. So you listen to this. This one talks about cybercrime at scale, dissecting a dark web, phishing. So this is definitely educational and training. You can use for your training. Anything you learn here, you can apply on yourself. You can. They always show a demo, and you can use it. You can do this demo at home in your lab, in your laptop or computer or PC, and you can practice. This one says how to get hired in digital forensics. There's a hacking demo here, cross-site scripting. This is Keitron Evans, one of the great security professionals that constantly teach all of us, just giving out free information to the whole world. So that's another source that you can use. So right now, just with the videos, you have 3 sources where you can literally learn what this cybersecurity is about. And the great thing is that with these different organizations, you hear different perspectives on it. And that's very important because you can talk to one person about cybersecurity like me, and it's very limited. You talk to somebody else that's been on for 10 years, you get a whole different perception of it. So when you put all those thoughts together, you have a very good understanding. So that's very important to learn about cybersecurity. And that's one of the great things about it is that this is not traditional. This is not like this is a book where you take an exam and you pass and now you know everything. This is constantly changing, and these sources, at a minimum, these 3 sources are up to date with the trends that are happening now. And so that's very important, and I'm happy that it's available, and it's just one click away from a person like me. So now I want to visit some websites, and this website is the SANS Institute. Great website. They have you log in. You get a login. You register for free, and you have access to literally so many things. Let me just log in here. So through this, I was able to get cheat sheets that they distribute to their classes, and these are serious classes. These aren't these are world industry recognized courses, certifications that they do, and they literally hand out their cheat sheets. They hand out posters, and it's all cybersecurity related. So they also have webcasts. I think it's this webcast here. Trying to get into the webcast section. So for example, it'll give you, this was new in the course SEC 401, Security Essentials Bootcamp style. So if I want to watch this webcast on this course, I can do that. This is tomorrow. I could register today and I'll be ready to watch it tomorrow. So you have this webcast is detecting malicious activity in large enterprises. This is threat hunting for visibility. So you can literally learn so much from this SANS organization through these webcasts. At a minimum, you can explore all of these, and if you find an interest in it, then you're somewhere. You're on a good start, because there's nothing better for you to learn something and actually be curious and interested in it. And what usually happens is that you continue to build on that until all you want to learn is about threat hunting, and maybe that will be the start of your career as a threat hunter. So this one source. This is what SANS offers. Then we also have the Center for Internet Security. So this one is a site, and they do a very good job with informing the public and literally helping businesses. They're helping me right now. So I've enrolled in the CIS benchmarks community group, And what this does is they create policies, and these are standards for companies to follow. There right now there's a huge demand for structure and frameworks because because all of the threats that are coming in, all of the data breaches, so many things are happening with these data breaches, not very good things. And one of the ways that we control things that are out of control is with policies, with controls, with rules. So they're always looking, they're always researching. They do a great job. So then they have a compliance program. Literally, you can build a cybersecurity compliance program for your organization, and they have the templates, they have the risk management framework, they have a table, they have a guideline. It's amazing what they do. And then they also have what's called the security controls top 25 list, and it'll take you from the person that's at home. Like for me, there's a list of security controls for me for my laptop in my home, and it extends into larger organizations such as small, medium-sized businesses and enterprises. Very useful information. You can also register as well for free, and you can join one of these groups, and you can continue to learn and stay up to date because they're constantly working on methods to help everyone stay safe online. And then this one website, this one is Information Security Magazine. So this one is a website and it contains numerous articles. Sign up for the newsletter. You get the news articles into your email. This one says Bank of England to tackle cybercrime. Just current events. Current events is a big plus. It's very important because when you go for a job interview, if you're able to speak to what's happening, what's current, they're going to be very interested in that. To have a person that's willing to keep up with this cybersecurity is a big plus. Not only for the company but for yourself as well. You always want to stay up to date with what's happening. You always want to be in the know, because that's the only way we're going to stay safe. Any threats that come around, any news on malware and ransomware, any data breaches, those are very important to learn. At least be familiar with those topics. So this website is pretty good. It has numerous articles, as you can see. You just click and start reading. So now for books. So now the thing with books is so many books out there. At the same time, you have articles and blogs online. However, there are cybersecurity professionals that are still writing, and they're still writing on books, and a lot of the knowledge that's shared is in the book. So I just want to go over two very important, very valuable sources of information. So this one is the Tribe of Hackers. This is a series. I picked up this book when I was in Barnes and Nobles the one time, and the title caught my attention. And it says, the first thing I saw was cybersecurity advice. And I said to myself, why would I need to know? Like, advice for what? Everything's online. But opening this book, you'd be amazed at what these professionals are saying. It's amazing what the insight that they're giving. And they ask them very simple and current questions. How did you start? What made you want to get into cybersecurity? Things like that. So then when I read this book, it made me feel like I can do this, and it made me pursue even more, because if these people are saying all these things, and I feel like I'm in their place. Like, I can literally follow their footsteps. At a minimum, I can understand what they're talking about because I'm going through that right now. That gives me a good chance, and that gets me very motivated to continue with what I'm doing. So reading what other people say is very important as well. You could have knowledge. You could talk about. We could go over how to use the Kali Linux operating system, and I'll do it one day. But what I can also offer is how I got into this and what happened that made me interested, because this may happen to you as well. This book and this series, very, very awesome. This right now, there's three of them right now. So what I do is I like to change my environment as I'm learning. So I read at home, and I also read at Barnes and Nobles, because those books are just there sitting there. Like, nobody's in Barnes and Nobles reading. People are usually going there to buy something and leaving, but I actually take the time and just stay there for like an hour or two and just read. And you can't beat education, especially something like this, for something that's so current and cool right now. Also, I want to open this link for this particular person. His name is Kevin Mitnick, and this man is a world famous hacker. This book right here, The Art of Invisibility, super, like, the insight is amazing to me, because this man discusses things as it's happening. Like, it's amazing that he can recall all these things and with such details. And this is who he is. He's a hacker. He's so, his details, the way he explains it, you could sense the emotion in his words, as when it comes to actually hacking. So then the value I got out of this is that if I can read, and if I can read what a hacker was thinking and all of his emotion, what he felt while going through those circumstances and situations that he faced, because he went through some hard times, that would definitely help me understand how far a hacker would go, or at least help me to understand what type of mindset that they're having. So I felt that I needed to continue this, because not only am I going to learn from cybersecurity professionals, but I'm also going to learn from professionals that have done the act and now they've changed. Now he's doing great and amazing things, keeping everyone safe. But this book especially, definitely worth your time to just read. You read chapter 1, you're going to be hooked, because the way he explains his story, how he goes from one place to the other, absolutely amazing. The one comment I want to make is that he talked about something that wasn't even talked about before, and it's called dumpster diving. And in cybersecurity, there's a thing called dumpster diving. Your trash is valuable, and it's the common thing. It goes thrown in a dumpster for work environments. Paper is in a dumpster. Meanwhile, this man was digging in there, gaining information, and the things that he did with that information, absolutely amazing. Like, it's just amazing for that time frame. So definitely recommend this book. So then he has 3 more books. So this is definitely another way to develop that mindset, because of the desire that you have to learn. And also, you have podcast. So for the podcast, this podcasts is a different way of learning as well. This is through voice, so you can listen in while you're driving, or you're doing something that doesn't require much attention. You can actually listen and do the other thing at the same time. Very good information as well. This one's called the CyberWire Daily. You can just pick one. This one, for example, talks about ransomware slows down many students return to school even virtually. Hacking gamers, Patch Tuesday, notes on election security from this organization called CISSP. So you figure that if you listen to this, you will gain valuable insight into what's happening now in cybersecurity. This episode is cyber attacks in Norway under investigation, developments in the criminal marketplace, scammers do TikTok, disrupting school from Florida to Northumberland. So I'm pretty sure this podcast will be very interesting, talking about some interesting topics. So you can learn from this. You can learn from this resource as well. And also open. Recorded Future is another organization that does like similar to BrightTalk that I mentioned earlier, and podcast, all types of topics in cybersecurity. Very valuable, can help you understand more what this cybersecurity is about. Because it's one thing to try to be a security analyst, and there's specific paths for that. But when you get a very when you have a very when you develop a really good foundation on what's happening in the world with this, it makes a huge difference. It's as if your studies come to life, because what you hear in a webinar from a director in a cybersecurity company, and he explains a data breach from for example, the Target data breach. He explains it because he's analyzed it, and he's making this presentation. Your education literally comes to life, because now you can actually tie those two sources together. It's an amazing experience with this. So this is the end of this video. I hope you gain some value in this. I hope that you I hope that you would like to enter this field, because it's very, very promising as far as the opportunities. And it begins with this. It begins with the mindset. Constant learning. It takes time. There's no rushing this process, because once you know it, it sticks to you. I'll put a link of this blog in the description, as I mentioned before, and also within this blog is all of my social media channels if you want to reach out to me for a comment, for a question, or if you just want to connect. So with this, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for your time, and I wish you well. Bye bye.